Hello and welcome to the This Week in the TechBoy podcast, the podcast that can beat Apple. That's right, y'all. We beat Apple, and I'll explain how right after our intro.
Hello and welcome to the Tech Boy This Week in Tech podcast.
Hello, everybody. That's right. Last week's podcast episode may have appeared down to some of you all, but we still recorded it. We're not missing weeks. I'm just editing my settings here so that you guys can actually chat in. Make sure to set this as not for kids. Okay, there we go. May have appeared down to you all, but I assure you that we were up and running. And sorry to you guys who I promised that didn't promise anything, but I said, hey, we go live at 4. That's typical. But today is a nighttime stream. Yeah, so Apple didn't like us reacting to the commercial, but it looks like it's settled, hopefully. And for now, you can see that episode right now where we beat Apple's commercial like the junk it is, because it is basically um, 5 minutes of earth-worshipping, boring junk that doesn't actually help me buy an iPhone. Because I mean, like if you don't ship an iPhone or buy one, then you don't emit carbon or whatever, which saves the environment or whatever. Anyway, there's plenty that went on down in the tech space today. Let's get to some headlines from the Tech Boy. I don't know how this happened, but statistically, according to Sweetrix, this didn't happen. But according to Blogspot, this did happen. But as you can see here, the Samsung Galaxy M8 versus M7, after basically a year of being dominant, we kept republishing it to see if we could edit it. Adding a drawing, the Samsung Note is now a most popular and famous article. So, you know, let's see if the chat's working today. Yeah, I have no idea how that happened, but great. I guess you guys wanted to add drawings to Samsung Notes, and then we talked about the 5 things Apple's added, and then our podcast episodes, and yeah, that was it. All right. Yeah. So, let's get into this. It's the most popular article somehow of published September 19th, 2023. And yes, I know this is an iPad. See, it says I know it's an iPad. I found this accidentally, just showed up on my phone. And this is edited. See the section here? That emoticon comes from ChatGPT. Yeah, so this helps you do it on the screen. You insert your drawings. It's far more advanced than regular drawing that you do, because you're not drawing over the text, you're actually drawing something. And then let's talk about the 5 trends that Apple added, quote unquote, to the iPhone 15 series, which the iPhone 15 series looks pretty good in my opinion ish. I like it has USB-C, still can't output via desktop mode, so it's kind of unfortunate for Apple, but great for Samsung and Motorola fans. But let's look at what they added here. Okay, USB-C, been here, done that, right? Zoom onto the Samsung has 3 and 10 times optical zoom on its S22 and S23 Ultra series. Look, Apple, you don't have to get better. The dynamic island LG V20, they had a true notch on there that actually showed stuff. See, a 60 Hz screen. The only company that getting away with that. And I'm going to show you what this notch on the phone looked like. If you guys don't remember, $100 right off of eBay. So did I buy it? I remember seeing this thing in 2018. This is their notch, basically a screen display. It's kind of like the Windows taskbar, essentially, but at the top instead of the bottom, and you can pin your applications to. Why LG? Why would you do this stuff? Like, okay, we know it's an LG. Only LG would do something like that. And at this time, only LG was basically putting wide-angle cameras on phones. But back to the thing, right? 60 Hz screen, portrait mode in pictures. What I meant by that is by changing the pictures. So Samsung, according to Massachusetts Boss, doesn't actually capture the depth information, so it's not going to be as good. But no, they can do that. So poke, nice to have. Samsung, you got that. All right. Well, uh, this week on the channel, we also talked about the tech and audio dramas. Oh, I misspelled that. And how one of them is tech positive. That was very interesting development. Here. Of course, inclusion of the audio drama does not constitute endorsement. All right. But to get to the more techie side of things, let's talk about the Galaxy FE series of devices. The Techno Phantom V Flip, Mr. Mobile has a video out about that. I guess you can react to that. But let's talk about the Samsung Galaxy FE series of devices, which is apparently being described as basically Samsung's leftover parts being rebranded as a new phone. So it looks like the Tab S9 FE is basically going to have the same performance as the Tab S8, but hopefully it will have enough the software update so it's going to last you another year. All right, so this is the S23 FE here. I mean, it looks nice. I like how it's merging the 2023 design, but basically using 2022 specs with like a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. And here's the Tab S9 FE and the Galaxy Buds FE, which is actually a truly, I guess, innovative development. Uh, Now, this is a leak, and it can come out in um, October, which at time of recording is only 7 days away, the 23rd. All right. So the S23 FE is not going to look like that. It's going to have an S23 esque design, but like S22 style power or something like that. So that's nice, but it will have a what's it called? Exynos chip. If Oh man, you couldn't see. Okay, let me show this on the screen to you. That was bad. Okay, here you go. Yes, here's the S23 FE's series. So it's supposed to have an Exynos chip. Worldwide, US was supposed to have a Snapdragon chip. So that's that. All right, now let's get into Mr. Mobile. He's talking about the Techno fold phone. It's the uh what's it called? It is the cheapest flip style foldable phone on the market at $600. One of the commenters said, "Yes, I know. Put that down in the comments." One comment said, "Uh, where is it? Something like yeah, here it is." One commenter said, "I still remember when $600 was still a flagship smartphone
Google Fi
prices."
Wireless.
Yeah,
Shop Samsung.
the S7 Edge. It was like $600, wasn't it? Let's see, S7. Because my mom had one of those. I still have it here. Where is it? It's in the chart. Retail price. And we'll get that video queued up for you. Queued up, whatever. Well, we have an S7 Edge around here somewhere. Yeah, we got like Galaxy S5 Active just floating around here. We got some older phones. Let me see when the S7 Edge. Oh, the S7 Edge launched at $779. Okay. Let's see what maybe it was the S7 that launched at 600. 669. Yeah. So S7 Edge launched at 779. S6 Edge launched at
Galaxy S23 Ultra.
I think Eminem said it best.
Nobody listens to Techno?
Yep, Techno, the sub-brand of Transsion Holdings, doesn't sell phones in the U.S. So most folks here have...
Yeah, they're a pretty big brand over in it's not a country, Africa. Yeah, they're a really big brand over.
Never heard of it, despite it being the brand that brought us a color-changing Mondrian phone.
It uses ink that's sensitive to light, so you can actually write stuff on there in the dark, and it'll come out. So I guess you can write like L or T or R or something.
Phone last year, and the world's most affordable large format foldable back in the spring.
I mean, what defines a foldable? Like, I mean, you could really make a really cheap foldable if you just have a folding, like say Surface Duo style, no outer display, right? You can have the cameras just be the webcam. You can only commit to 1 year of software support. I'm pretty sure. Oh, you can get lots of ads on here and trackers. I'm pretty sure we can get that price to $150. So, if any company wants to make that, let's see.
Not.
Oh, And speaking of
World's most affordable large format foldable.
see the Dido app here? I found a Dido app that allows me on my phone to pin the app, which essentially means that you are um, liking that app so that if you would hand your phone to one person, it only locks to that app. I found the Dido app on Samsung, a Samsung stock app. If you pin the Dido app, you can do that, and you call, it won't go through. Well, this application, you can pin it and call someone, and the call will go through. So I will show this off on the podcast.
Not content to lay back in the cut, Techno is kicking off the fall with another foldable.
Oh, that was nice. I didn't even notice the crease. I thought it was just like some random phone.
This time, a flip phone that's
Wait, I mean, I guess it is nice, but I mean, this is honestly just for the aesthetic. I mean, this looks like a, I don't know, 35% screen to body ratio, with the 35% being the screen, which seems like a scam. They also don't make this look like the camera's there. But if you notice here, the camera is around the edge here, which means there's nothing here, nothing here. That's a lot of wasted space.
weird.
With that flash, does look weird though. Like, it's a 4-point flash. I only have like one. I don't know. My phone has a 4-point flash too. It's just, I guess this flash is more spread out.
Whimsical and what? Only $600.
Wait, does the phone have face recognition? Pretty sure that would be really good for like phone cameras.
This deserves a look under the hood on Into the Fold. Quick word, it's a quick look and not a review, because the business reality of being a YouTuber in Techtember is that at times like these, I've got to prioritize the iPhone and the other phones I can't tell you about yet that will sell in the US.
That's unfortunate. I have to prioritize the iPhone.
Stay tuned. So I'm sorry this can't be a deeper dive, but also 4 years after.
Hey, look, when the tech boy gets to that point, I guess we can contract out people to write reviews for us. Speaking of, we still have a guest blogging program, so if you want to write a review, we'll do it. And you'll get all the ad revenue, but we don't have ads, so we'll get 100% of nothing.
After the official return of flip phones via foldable technology, we've
Oh man, that looks bad. This is how the screen lifted up.
a state of semi-maturity across the clamshell category.
It should, but I mean, look at all this diversity here. You got like a folder-shaped screen here going, hailing back to the Galaxy Z Fold original. Then you have this Motorola-looking foldable here, like looks like one of those cheaper Motorola's you can find at Best Buy. It's probably not Motorola. Oh, they do. And then it's like, wait, oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it's like a really tiny screen. It's like a little smartwatch sticker here. You got older style Samsung, just flip two-tone. Then you got the Techno that we're looking at here, with the wasted screen space for the state and everything. And then, wow, that's actually pretty useful here. Although, if you're right-handed, you're probably going to be grazing the camera a lot, which will give it smudges. And then, yeah, same thing here, but I guess it looks nice here. Obviously taking lots of inspiration from iOS. Like, if you told someone that was an iPhone, I mean, they might believe you until you opened it up in half and you got the LG. That's fine. Motorola, it's become basically an LG here. This looks like a full screen Android launcher right there, which honestly, this kind of looks like, if you see here and you look at my older podcast episodes from recording from Dex, it kind of looks like the Dex time and date second. So,
with manufacturers having regrettably settled on a common size and shape.
Well, I mean, that's kind of a good thing if you think about it, because you don't want, fold up, like, I guess, two circles over each other or something. Like, that wouldn't hit it.
And even brands like Ulefone.
I thought it was Ulefone. Ulefone, yeah.
Poised to break into the space. The only major variations we're seeing in flip phones right now are in 3 categories: cover display capabilities, style, and price. You could also make an argument for cameras.
Well, yeah, but cameras on foldable phones. I don't know. That's underrated. I mean, overrated.
But
well, not overrated, but like they're not really prioritized. Well, I mean, they should be, seeing as Samsung's really pushing for vlogging, and I found that they're sponsoring YouTuber Mr. Beast for vlogging with, I guess, their Ultra and Fold series of devices. So You know, as, I mean, they're trying to hit the TikTok generation, which, I mean, I think I said focus on more teen content here, teen focused content, because, I'm a teen and that could, work out well. It seems like Apple's bump technology is going to become really big. The thing where you have one iPhone here on iOS 17, you have another phone here on iOS 17, and you go and it transfers your contact information. Really good, really good. Kids were using that, like actually having people ask to update their software, and they're updating it right there at school, which, I mean, really interesting. Like usually software updates are seen as dirty and boring, and they put it off into the next thing. But being able to bump the two phones together to transfer contact information, even if they already have each other's contact information, it seems that the teenagers are using it. Just I guess they like the animation, or I guess it creates new language for Riz or something. Oh, help us today. Eh, I mean, I'm pretty sure ChatGPT could come up with a bunch of pickup lines that. Yeah. Anyway, back to the podcast here. We have yes that.
Put a pin in that and return to it after the Oppo Find
Oh wow, nice voice recorder. I'm wondering what would happen if Apple released like a foldable phone with the bump software. So, but the hinge you could like flip it out like that. So two kids just flip the phone to the, and then the bump software goes. That'd be really interesting, Also, the bump software animation reminds me of the iPhone 14 Pro wallpaper. Yeah, here it is. iPhone 14 Pro Max. I'm going to share it on screen. All right, let's see if we can find an image of the device. See, like the two, I guess they look like two bullets touching each other. And if you look at the bump animation, it's basically taking about the 25% of the screen going boom on the iPhone. So that's really nice of us. Androids can do this. I'm pretty sure, like, I got Sunbird emulation on here. I got what's it called? AirDrop emulation here. I've never used it. I've, like, got it to work, but I'm pretty sure it could work. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. You got all that emulation working through. I'm pretty sure that someone could reverse engineer, like they did with the what's it called, what's the thing called, Flipper Zero. Yeah. Where someone hacked the used the Flipper Zero to like spam iPhones. Oh yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Okay. Yeah, great times. That was like last week, which you can go back and watch last week's podcast episode on because we beat Apple. I'm pretty sure someone's gonna be able to reverse engineer the bump software. Sorry, being uploaded to GitHub right now.
3 Flip launches. Find N3 Flip, Galaxy Z Flip 5, Razr.
I mean, I like. Oh wow, look at that! I got all the pictures together. I like long phone names. So you say like the long phone name, like what's that? Galaxy S7 Edge, 2016 Rio de Janeiro Olympic Edition. Like it makes you sound smart or something.
Razr 40 Ultra. We sure are back to the bad old days of smartphone brand.
Huawei P50 Pocket Premium Edition. Well, I mean, the camera bump doesn't look that premium in my opinion.
Name word salad, aren't we? Given that backdrop, Phantom V Flip is actually kind of simple. Anyway, this phone doesn't.
Phantom V Flip sounds really interesting. Yeah, what's it called? So name drop is what the Apple's bump thing is called. I wonder if it's possible to see if we can get that on here. Okay, name drop on Android. GitHub. Nope, not yet. I'm pretty sure it's going to be out in like, next 2 weeks.
Quite satisfy all 3 of those differentiators because it's not trying to maximize cover display utility.
That's unfortunate.
Instead, it's using that outer screen to lean into the second category, style.
Who buys a phone for style? well, I guess for iPhones, I guess trying to become a status symbol. But like, oh yeah, I got my Techno. People are gonna look at you and be like, "What? Techno?"
Techno took a cue from countless China-based smartphone designs and blew up the camera platform to massive proportions.
Yeah, except the cameras have been squeezed into the edges. I mean, honestly, I can make my cameras here, put them straight in the middle, and then just draw a huge circle around it. Doesn't improve the cameras.
But here, it's pushed those cameras outward to the perimeter to make room for a small but distinctive cover screen in the center. Nope, it's not the first time. Huawei beat Techno to the punch with a circular display on the P50 Pocket last year. In fact, all you have to do...
The circle display looks the same, but there are no bezels around it, so it looks like it's like basically a 99% screen to body ratio.
To find more corner-free cover screens is reach far enough into the past, or the wonderfully weird world of vintage Asia market phones. This crazy Casio was a gift of friend of the channel, The Flip.
It's probably running Android. And speaking of, we're going to talk about flip phones later. The takes that you can hear. Oh my goodness.
Flipside Story on Instagram, whom you should follow for just the best kind of WCDMA weirdness.
Type X 2010. Is that a map? Type XX 2021. All right, we'll see what the Type XX is. Maybe it'll give me one. Okay, let's keep watching.
Techno's implementation is notable because of its boldness.
It's from Kai Soria. All right, let's see what. Here it is over at eBay. Casio's G-Shock phone GZ1 Type XX. Would that be Type 20? Liquid green, unlocked 4G basically rugged specifications here. Kind of looks like a Hot Wheel car, like that car flip phone. Okay, let me see what we got here. Barometer. That's nice. Most phones don't have barometers. Waterproof, freeze-proof, shockproof, low pressure resist. Camera sensor there. What's it running? Okay. Weather, news. Well, I mean, it looks like it has some semblance of internet connectivity. You got Bluetooth and 4G. So yeah, obviously probably connected to that place. Okay. This is sending your news via SMS. And it has a micro SD card slot. $570. Oh no. Oh no.
Onto this monster black hole is rewarded by a screen that follows the same shape. The whole thing was...
I mean, look at that. I mean, this looks like a math problem. If the inside of the Techno camera has a radius of 3, and the outside, and the whole thing has a radius, find the surface area of the how much is it on the inside and on the outside?
Resembling...
Like, the screen to body ratio is comical. Like, you have space where it looks like a whole inch to expand that way, but the camera is on the right. I mean, you could honestly just put the cameras off the bump.
Nothing so much as an oversized Movado smartwatch. You can't do much of use out here. Small email or text previews, sure. The expected widgets and
I mean, of course, you can always install what's it called, covered screen OS.
Toggles, a camera preview of sorts. But really, this is all about standing out.
I mean, I could probably do half of that with a case on my phone. Oh, guys, look, I'm standing out. Do you know what's actually a standout feature? 100 times zoom. A pin coming out of a phone. Plugging your phone into a monitor and getting a desktop interface. And do you know what offers that? Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra.
And to that end, you get a fairly wide selection of whimsical wallpapers, whale-related and otherwise. Most of these are too cartoonish for my taste, but I do love the orbital one, which makes clever use of the frame shape to suggest a spacecraft porthole. Also, Techno gives you the tools to make your own with an animated GIF, so Trek nerds like me can slap on the communicator
That's nice.
transceiver pattern this desperately calls for.
It's going with, I don't know, 10 times faster than...
Sure, I wish the screen was bigger, but you've got to remember, this is the cheapest flip-style clamshell the world has yet seen. So I'd wager the screen selection was probably based on which...
I mean, if you want to go cheaper, say $500 here, Do you really need a screen on the outside? Like, you're gonna flip it over 85% of the time. Just, I guess, I mean, just put some plastic on there and be like, ooh, design.
Panels Techno could source.
Or I wonder if it's possible to have a screen that looks bi-directional. And you just cut open a big hole for it. So you can basically using the same screen from the other side.
This identical size and resolution is used by the Huawei Watch GT and Neolina smartwatches.
$53. Yeah, but I mean, this screen looks bigger than this. Of course, is like a bezel here and here. But speaking of Neolina, let's see if they'll. How do you spell it? Not, you see, I don't know. What is it with these companies that don't know how to spell? Who comes up with
So
these
it's
names?
likely pretty easy to get in Techno's headquarters city of Shenzhen. If you keep that budget in mind, Techno's design here impresses too. Surrounding the cover crater and wrapping around the back is a pleasant periwinkle-like pleather material that's
Plefton?
exponentially nicer than the wax paper the company used for its V Fold. In fact, it feels very similar to the backplate on Motorola's Razr Plus, and Techno added some visual flair to the backside with this subtle dual-tone design and charm-like vanity plate. I'm dwelling on the design in part because of how much of a win this is versus the category leader in every metric that matters, Samsung's Galaxy Flip 5. The Galaxy is unquestionably the more capable product, but this year, in order to make room for that huge cover screen, Samsung had to abandon its own dual-tone design, something that had helped the Flip stand out for 2 years.
Well, I mean, do you know what helps the Flip stand out? It flips.
So while it might be
Like, I mean, we shouldn't forget the point that most phones are. I mean, we shouldn't forget the fact most smartphones are marvels of modern engineering. But I mean, this thing flips.
a bit derivative for Techno to use it on the back of its Phantom V Flip. It's both more visually interesting and
Look at the name of the, I guess, segment. 10 pounds of design in a 5-pound bag. That's weird because that's not 5 pounds. And I guess design is, it can't be quantified.
more satisfying to hold than Samsung's hyper minimal, greasy, glossy glass.
I mean, that's great, but pretty sure most people put that in a case, especially since it folds.
In a world where the novelty of a hinge is no longer enough to set a phone apart, manufacturers
It is. I mean, yes, it is. I mean, people get excited over like literal this. Oh, guys, look, we can send this an iMessage. They get excited over this. And we'll have like a segment on ChatGPT where we can we'll figure out all the kind of look. If we get this to okay, I'm not making you guys any promises. Anyway, yeah, if the thing folds in half, I'm pretty sure that's exciting for most people.
manufacturers would do well to remember that a phone's surface is a limitless canvas for expression.
Just don't go overboard. They were like a themed character on a folding phone, like that. Like I don't know, like what's a famous character? Pokemon. You can have his legs down there and his head up there, and it could be like part of the camera. Does he have antenna? If he does, you can put them like on the camera and turn them like yellow or something.
Huawei brought in a famous designer to do the P50 Pocket, and
I could have done that. A famous designer. It looks like you took a leaf and pressed it in there, boom, boom, and then drew like 2 circles on there. Congratulations, famous designer.
I still occasionally
It looks like you took a leaf, put in some like kind of softish metal, and sat on it. Boom, there's your imprint.
just hold that phone up to the light and marvel at its sheer brassy brazenness.
Yeah, it's great picking of metal. Do you know who had a great picking of metal? Samsung in 2019 with the Aura Glow.
Bravo. Open her up, and the compromises made to hit that price point become more pronounced. We'll get to the blemishes
Wait, is this thing curved? Is this like that Nokia banana phone? Oh my goodness.
after the break. As you
Oh, yeah, it's great. Use Surfshark VPN.
Inside the V Flip is a pretty typical 6.9-inch folding screen.
6.9? That's not typical. It's great. Finally, someone. Yeah,
The
goodness.
stretched full HD resolution, refreshing 120 times a second.
He sounds bored by that. Like the $800 iPhone doesn't do that.
It's perfectly suitable for the great indoors, but take it outside and it's disappointing.
Oh man, look at this. This looks like it's borrowing inspiration from iPhone, obviously. It kind of looks like that new One UI 6.
Max brightness makes me so thankful that we're no longer in the doldrums of dim displays when it comes to fold.
I can literally see the screen refreshing.
Thankful that we're no longer in the doldrums of
Look at that. You must be recording at like 120 frames.
dim displays when it comes to foldables. Those were bad years. Also, this screen protector is the most smudge-prone surface I've encountered.
Oh, and it's terrible because in high light intensity from outside, the smudges become apparent, especially if you have a dimmer screen.
In ages. The thing came out of the box smudged.
This is gross. Don't ship a phone like this, gang.
Probably a result of Techno flashing some pre-production software on there before shipping me this review unit, but even with my best chamois, I can't get this thing clean. The cover screen protector, too, is misaligned and I think has some air bubbles underneath. If you stick around to the end, I'll peel it off and we'll see what the face looks like unadorned.
Okay.
Now, I don't think I can blame cost-cutting for the state of the Android software skin, because the fact is that iOS just wasn't made for Western markets. I mean, it's not as bad as it could be. Any launcher that lets me use a bottom swipe app drawer and swipe down notification shortcut is...
That's interesting, but once you get into the settings, yeah, it's gonna be messy. But you can install like Nova Launcher or Splice Launcher or what's it called, Niagara Launcher.
At least livable. Still, as Android Police points out, software updates...
Oh yeah, the notifications. What's it called? Like intense battery saving for Chinese phones. Pretty weird.
Are a huge...
it'd be great for me, but...
question mark at this point. And there's enough here that's intrusive or clumsy or just plain archaic to dim the luster that the hardware set up. And while I didn't have time to test the camera system almost at all, because again, this isn't a review, nothing in Techno's history convinced...
Wait, that picture, in my opinion, looks better than this one. I guess the bread looks more wider and defined. I don't know. But I like the blur here. But obviously, the picture before was...
This is me that the cameras will...
Look at that flare. Yeah, that's better because you can see, I guess, how that's a circle. And this just looks like an explosion happened there.
surprise or delight.
And this just looks smudgy.
Especially when you got companies out there like Oppo, specifically focused on upping the game.
Wow, that's a video sample? It looks like it's from a commercial.
In the flip phone camera department.
It took so long.
Bring us back to the point, there are 50,000 reasons those compromises just don't give me
50,000? What, the design? The pixels in the camera? Because a megapixel is like 1,000 pixels, and if it's 50 megapixels.
too much pause today. Those reasons are rupees, the currency used in the launch market of India. And while Techno calls that
I thought it was in African.
an early bird price, so it'll probably go up later, the fact remains that today this is a $600 phone.
I mean, Samsung could easily undercut that. Just make it like their Flip series a $500 phone. You can lose a little bit of money, but they could say they claim to create the cheapest phone. No, Flip 2, Flip 3.
And that's significant, no matter how well or poorly
It looks like a record player.
it does, because foldables have finally gotten there, to
Sure, I guess.
the true mid-range. Now, we'll see if Techno cut too many corners to do so, if we start seeing widespread reports of hinge failures, or if this time next year the thing hasn't gotten a single software update. But the V Flip...
Well, I mean, software updates aren't going to cost larger companies like Samsung that much money. Like, if they can source displays and all the components to make a phone that folds for $600, or probably more practically $800 for like a Fold FE or a Galaxy A series of a Fold device, then I don't know if they do an A series or a Fold. Maybe a Fold device, not a Flip device, because I mean, You can basically get a flip for $9.99, and then the prices on eBay they'll go down. But I probably wouldn't buy it. I don't know. So you probably want used because then the hinge is worn out.
Flip's mere existence is cause for foldable fans to celebrate. And, if I were Motorola, I'd be breathing a sigh of relief that this thing isn't coming to the States.
The software's terrible. The screen is tiny. I don't know. The thing didn't look like it closed all the way. It looked kind of curved to me. And the bezels are thick. Yeah, I think Motorola will be fine. Though I've actually never seen that Motorola foldable. Maybe like once or twice.
Because up against the conservative-looking Razr Minus, well, this could be a real Phantom Menace.
Now that's better.
That looks like a frog. 1 eye, 2. Ignore the flash.
This episode of Into the Fold was produced following several days with a pre-production Phantom V Flip review
Look at that case.
sample provided by Techno, but the company did not pay a fee for this coverage, nor did I give it copy approval rights or any other editorial input into my content.
All right, that's great. All right. I'm still contemplating that ChatGPT thing. Maybe if someone will actually watch it. It's going to get watched at school anyway. Urban View. Very, very, I guess, interesting, you could say, at least. Radio station had a caller in. They're talking about children and technology, which is, always interesting to listen to. The caller was like, yeah, how about you give kids flip phones? And the hosts are kind of like, You see, if you they're like, oh well, if you get everyone in the pickup line to switch to a flip phone, then you then they won't get bullied for having a flip phone. Do you realize how dumb that sounds? Okay, first of all, hello, tech for your needs. First of all, do you realize how dumb this sounds? Okay, first of all the kids in the pickup line, this metaphorical pickup line we're talking about, they already have phones. What are you gonna say? Oh yeah, this random calling guy on the radio said, hey, we're all switching to flip phones so that I don't know. It's better for you or whatever. Yeah. So we're all switching to flip phones because this random calling guy said this. So give me that iPhone that we already paid for. It's going into a box, and we're buying a brand new flip phone. Okay. And according to his specifications, his flip phone specifications was flip phones can be tracked. They have GPS. Okay. So flip phones that can be tracked that have GPS. In order for the GPS to get sent to the parent so the person knows where they are, that means the phone has to have internet. Okay, you know what that means? That means the kid can still get on internet, right? I mean, they can still probably use it as a hotspot for a laptop or a tablet. These flip phone companies aren't making their own operating system because they have to keep the cost down. So it's probably just using a skinned version of Android or KaiOS if it's super cheap, but that's more like seniors and it's awful, right? So no. Second of all, the argument that parents are buying their kids $2,000 phones is absolutely insanely absurd. Do you know why? Because it's barely any $2,000 phones on the market. The only $2,000 phone close in the US would be the Galaxy Z Flip 4 or 5. And I could probably count on like one finger the amount of kids I've seen with the Galaxy Z Flip 5 that went in a Samsung store or a T-Mobile store. Second of all, the only actual, and that's only $1,700, which the price goes down eBay all the time. Yeah, like Fold 4, sorry, not the Flip, the Fold 5 and the Fold 4, probably $800 on eBay right now, easy, maybe $600. So yeah, argument goes out too. Right. Third of all, Fold 5 is like $200 short of 2,000. Second of all, the only $2,000 phone that I've ever heard of, it was $2,500. It's from Huawei, which is banned, okay, in the US, and it was from like 2019. So I'm pretty sure the price has gone down. So no one's buying their kid $2,000 phones, okay. Now you may say, oh, and third of all those phones, No iPhone reaches over $1,500, right? And the iPhone is basically a status symbol in school. Okay, you got the iPhone bump software, you got AirDrop, you got iMessage. Okay, so even if you did buy your kids like a $2,000 phone, they'd still be excluded because they have like a green bubble or whatever. Because the only $2,000 phones are Android phones or like a golden phone. Which look, no one's buying their kids $2,000 phones. That's the point. No one's buying $2,000 phones because they don't exist. Okay, there's like phones that are basically covered in gold, and then phones from like Huawei, essentially. Okay, which is banned in the U.S. Right, and third of all, okay, phones like $1,000 phones. Most people do not buy their $1,000 phones. Um, just walk in with $1,000 in cash and pay for it. Okay, so no, no, that's not how it works. They pay for it on contract, which means that they're paying for it on bill credits, or they bought it pre-owned, or got passed down from the family member, or they got it free for adding a third line or something. Okay, so people are actually physically walking into T-Mobile and AT&T and say, "Hey, I like the iPhone 14 Pro, 15 Pro Max. Oh yeah, that'd be $1,200. Okay, 100, 200. No, that's not how it works. Okay, and third of all, some of the kids actually, Mr. Call in have to work for their phone either academically, like if you get all straight A's, then we'll give you a phone, or they actually have to buy it, right? And there's also, especially in the Android segment, which do you know what the most popular phones with teenagers, right? At least in my experience, is right? Like second phones be mid-range level Android phones. Okay, so 300, just maybe $600 Android phones. Okay, and maybe with like AO something, and then maybe like an iPhone 14 Pro series, which again is on contract. Okay, no one's paying $1,000 just right there for the phone. Like it comes with the service, or that's added on top of the service, and some of the kids even have to pay for their own service. Okay, so first of all, you no, that's not how any of this stuff works. You okay? So first of all, no one's paying for $2,000 phones ever. Okay, it's not happening. There's not a kid on here like normally running around here with the $2,000 phone. Okay, flip phones. Basically stupid versions of smartphones. Just really bad versions of a smartphone. Okay, it's like a smartphone with the physical keyboard attached, and that's it. Okay, flip phones nowadays. Okay, and even those like child phones, so entire YouTube channels dedicated to hacking them, right? Okay, like Bark or whatever. Okay, they're all running a skinned version of Android. Okay, third of all, most of the kids are running split running mid-range Android phones, mid-range budget to mid-range Android phones. And if they do have, or maybe, and half of them may have a Pro series of an iPhone. Okay, and there's no way ever that you're just going to convince an entire pickup line of parents to switch to a flip phone just for you to feel better. Yeah, nah, that's not gonna work. Like first of all, you don't get to choose what kind of phone some other person's random kid has. Okay, no. Um, and then second of all, how would you do that? Like, what kind of logic would that be? Oh, yeah, sure. I heard this guy on the radio. I think you should get your kid a flip phone. Yeah, I know he worked over the summer and got great grades and bought his phone off of eBay. But, you should get your kid a flip phone off of eBay. So, yeah, that's that. I mean, that's the equivalent of basically saying, oh, um, my kid is allergic to, I don't know, peanuts. And yeah, so I don't want your kid bringing peanuts, like just eating peanuts. Not even when the kid's around. Just not eating peanuts ever. No peanuts for him. Or the equivalent of saying, my kid's not allowed to take pictures. I don't know. So all the people around him, they're not allowed to take pictures. What, he thinks he could just mandate that all the people in the carpool line do what you say just because of what you want? No, that's not how it works. Anyway, yeah, that was a weird claim called in. Yeah, I always have to debunk those those technical things that happen. All right, let's talk about the Fairphone 5, which was, I mean, we talked about that 2 weeks ago, but I mean, Fairphone's always fun to talk about, kind of like a really boring phone. I mean, yeah, it's repairable. It's great. It's supposed to last about 8 or 10 years. That's great. But the specs are abysmal. The camera is terrible now. Like, if I want my phone to last 10 years, I want the most overclocked, best spec'd out phone I can get today. I want next gen chip, next gen. Like, if someone said, okay, you have to use the same phone for 5 years, right? Which phone do you pick? I'm picking S23 Ultra. Okay, not a fold because I don't think the hinge would last that long. Okay, if you're on the iOS side, iPhone 15 Pro Max or iPhone 15 Plus, which has the best battery life of any iPhone, including over the 15 Pro Max. You think I'm gonna pick this thing that only has 2 cameras, no telephoto, right? It's running an enterprise level chip. No. I mean, this thing looks so budget. I mean, this looks like something you'd find walking into Best Buy or T-Mobile or Boost Mobile, where they're that giving the phone away on contract. Because back to my old point, no one is. I mean, no one's like buying $1,000 phones and just handing them over, like just buying them full out in cash. That's not how phone buying works. Anyway, and look, I mean, looks like they spent no time on their software. Okay, the only thing I see here that's custom is like the Fairphone app and the camera app. But by custom, I mean looks like it's using an icon last developed in 2015. But this looks like a design that looks. I mean, I'm pretty sure the screen to body ratio is there just for the repairability thing, but that just looks so bad. And the buttons, those buttons, I like, a 6.46 inch OLED, 90 hertz screen, which, I mean, that's better than the iPhone, but it doesn't even get the 10,000 nits. What? It has a micro SD card slot, so that's great. A planned upgrade to iPhone 14, that's great. A purpose-built Qualcomm. Okay. Oh, this is actually useful. It's a time of flight sensor, so it's not just there for show. That's great. Okay, we have to issue a correction. All right, 3D time of flight sensor. That's actually useful for depth information. I wonder if it can scan 3D stuff. All right, great. Finally. All right. It comes, but this is awful. The handset arrives in a modest recycled carton box with some user manuals inside. Which, I mean, if you want to save the environment, why did you include all this paper? I'd rather have a charger in the box than all this junky paper. Like, you have a phone, which you can go look it up online. It's not like, oh, what if they don't have internet? I don't know if they're like a smartphone for it, but anyway, they don't even include the cable. I mean, they're worse than Apple. I mean, that is an accomplishment. Okay, I noticed the rehashing of like 2 weeks ago, but this is just, how do you didn't include a cable in the box? All you have is the phone? And you're telling me this thing is like $600, $700? And this is a phone that you'd actually have to pay $600, $700 for. Okay? It's in Europe only to reduce carbon emissions or something, which, I mean, do you know, just put it, please, just sell it here. I'm pretty sure 2 people would buy it. Okay. It has a whole bunch of cameras, a water drop notch, which, that's great. Water drop notches are basically dead. The notch is dead. 6 years, basically. It comes in 3 color options, which, I mean, honestly, I don't know why. I mean, I'm pretty sure it takes a lot of carbon emissions to color your phone. You should have just sold it in like black or whatever color the plastic came in. Yeah, it's just be like, oh guys, it's all recycled plastic. Each one is unique. I'm pretty sure you could get a few sales off of that. It has a USB-C connector, so that's great. Hopefully that's still around by the time this phone's supposed to be dead in 8 years. Let's see here. We got rechargeable battery, not rechargeable, removable battery, and a 90 hertz OLED, but the screen doesn't get bright. But I'm glad that it has a time of flight camera. That's great. Good for it. Okay. Let's see. Does anyone from the chat have any questions? Technical questions. I know. I'll just wait for that to load. All right. So, Tech Odyssey. He went and picked up his iPhone 15 Pro. Mr. the boss showed us bad, well, not really bad, but like not really good. It was getting beat by like the Plus from last year or something because of the video. Not the video. It's smaller. It's 6.1 inches, which means they can't fit as big a battery in there. All right, but here we go. Check out. But he got this because he wanted the smaller screen, so easier one-handed use.
iPhone 15 Pro after one day. Been using this basically for 24 hours. I picked it up at the Apple Store yesterday. Seems like a lot of y'all saw that video and enjoyed it. So, well, thank you for watching that. And, well, maybe I'll make more like that in the future. My thoughts so far. So, just taking it out of the box, using it, it is a little bit lighter that you can feel like immediately.
It's probably the titanium. And just notice it has an action button. I wonder what you guys think about the action button. Okay. What do you think about the action button?
Immediately out of the box. I don't know how much of that was placebo effect because, of course, we're told it's lighter because the frame is made of titanium instead of stainless steel.
I mean,
I've been using the iPhone 14.
I wouldn't know if it's lighter because I don't have any iPhones to compare to.
Pro Max.
I mean, we do have an iPhone in some box over there. Maestro Mode dropped it, and it shadowed, and it doesn't really work. It's an iPhone 7, though. And that was really light. I mean, that thing is thin. That was back when Apple cared about phone thinness.
As the iPhone that I record my videos with that I actually handle with any frequency. So it did feel lighter out of the box. You may feel that, you may not. I do appreciate the rounded kind of polished off corners. It does give it a smoother, slightly more comfortable holding experience. And I do like the form factor on the 15 Pro. I like the Pro.
You know, I'm still team Android here. But I do like how those iPhone screens, I guess, look. They look always glossy and bright.
Pro series, and I talked about this previously, but my thought process with the battery, some of my fears are confirmed because the battery life still ain't great. Now, there are two distinctions I want to draw here, one being Android, one being Apple. When you get an Android phone, you can't really tell exactly how good your battery life is going to be until you've had it for about 5 or 6 days.
Yeah, because Samsung at least likes to optimize, see how you're using it, optimize your battery. And of course, when you get a new phone, you're transferring over data and files, over USB and over the cloud.
Because you got to allow for the adaptive battery to kick in and things like that. Apple, they work differently. At least that's what's been preached to me so many times. But first day, I basically had to put it on the charger twice because, well, it didn't come fully charged. That's expected. I did charge it up, and then it died pretty quick. So
interesting. I mean, it could just be the first day pulling everything from a server, syncing your contacts and information and everything. So, I mean,
it definitely didn't last a full day for me. But one thing I do want to caution here, the first day is not the best day to truly evaluate battery life because you're doing a lot of things on here you wouldn't normally do every other day, like install things, set everything up, restore the phone from the iCloud.
It must be, and of course, activate everything over the eSIM. It must be kind of complicated for him because he uses Android and iOS. So I wonder how he manages his text messages, files, media, everything.
Like, you're doing a lot. Like, there's a whole lot going on in here. So I will see how it is today. I've started off with the full charge. We'll see how long it lasts. But I'm not expecting great things. However, I did actually pick up an iPhone 15 Pro Max because by some miracle they had one in the store while I was there. So I said, go ahead and give me that while I'm here.
I wish I could just pick up phones, which, again, he's probably paying on contract. So monthly, not he's 1,000. Anyway, I wish I could pick up just phones. Hopefully, I mean, if you want to help me pick up phones, we do have to buy me a coffee on screen, and this will go towards buying phones or maybe a laptop to test. Let's keep because if you didn't know, I dropped my laptop yesterday, and we got a spot on the screen. Yeah, that's bad. All right. Anyway, back to the thing. Oops, back to the video.
So we'll see which one works out best. Now, interesting enough, I've seen a lot of complaining from normal iPhone users because it has USB-C now and you can't use your older chargers.
That's unfortunate. I mean, like, and it's kind of Apple's fault for not including a charger in the box, especially with this phone. Like when Samsung switched over to USB-C from the S7 Edge to the S8. We're not going to talk about the explosive one, okay? From the S7 Edge to the S8, Samsung included a micro USB to USB-C like adapter, of course, cables and chargers in the box, and they included a USB-C to USB-A adapter so you can transfer your like basically flash drive. And I actually used that adapter because it came with like my tablet or something. Maybe it got thrown in or something like that. Whatever. I just had one of them lying around, and I used it as a USB adapter for my Galaxy Book Tab 10.6 because it only had USB-C ports, only had a USB-C port, no USB-A ports. So like Samsung would put everything in there. Apple, I mean, they just give you a cable and like deal with it.
This is actually something I'm really enjoying. I tweeted about last night.
What's tweeting?
I like the USB-C because I can charge all of my phones and devices.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I mean, it's good for Apple, but it's bad for Android because that's like one of its advantages. But I guess it means that your iPhone's touting friends would carry USB-C cables. So if you have any one.
Devices with the
Of course, they'll probably stop the charge off your back though.
same cable. So I'm happy about that. I don't give Apple a lot of credit because basically they were forced by regulatory people to go ahead and start putting.
Yeah, I'm probably not the biggest fan of that. Like, I don't know. What if they make you do like? What are they? I mean, what if they mandate like headphone jacks or removable batteries or, I guess, like, what are they gonna start mandating? What if they mandate no curved edges for repairability? Or, I mean, I guess they could just sell a flat version of it in the EU. Like, I mean, Apple could have just stuck with Lightning, honestly. But I guess 15 is a big number to make a change. They make the change on the 5. 15. Maybe they'll go portless on the 25.
USB-C in. So, but I do appreciate the benefit of that regulatory compliance. So I'm happy that that's there.
How much would they have gotten fined anyway? I mean, it's a $2 trillion company. Okay, I'm pretty sure the GDP, the like profit rivals the GDP of the EU. What is the EU's GDP? What is the EU GDP? Not GDPR. GDP. GDPR is annoying. Yeah, it's only 14.5 trillion. A combination of 27 companies. 14.7 trillion. Apple's like worth is like 2.1 trillion. Okay, that is a seventh. Okay, we're actually talking about fractions here. A seventh. Okay, and put that in a percentage form. That is 14%. Just one company. I'm pretty sure they could afford whatever fine they try to levy on them there. Okay. Besides, Android phones are very popular over in Europe, so it'd probably be a fine based on how many units are sold, which probably wouldn't be like that many. But...
And it did concern me though when I was charging it. The first time I charged it up, I was holding my phone. The phone got really hot, like uncomfortably hot. And I was looking around like on Twitter and I saw some other people saying this.
What's Twitter?
Same things. But then when I charged it the second time, cool as a cucumber.
My phone gets hot. Speaking of how cool the cucumbers get. How 20 degrees cooler than the outside air. Interesting. So if it's 80 degrees Fahrenheit, it'd be 6 degrees Fahrenheit inside a cucumber.
I didn't do it
So I guess that'd be great to eat during heat wave.
again, and it was past the point where I was installing and updating all that stuff. So it was really weird. I'm going to monitor this. I've seen other things on the internet about heat-related stuff going on. The chip gets hot, people saying it throttles, whatever. I need to experience some of this stuff, see how it works in day-to-day life.
Here's one thing you need to do before buying anything online. Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you watch.
Beautiful phone, though. I do like the natural titanium. I'm glad I got this color. I'm actually recording on the 15 Pro Max right now with the built-in microphone, just so you can kind of get an idea for what the mic.
Yeah, his audio did sound a little bit boosted. I thought it was like maybe AI noise compression because I recorded a video from my school, like a news video. And kids, if you're listening to this, I mean, there's more background noise in that video than actual noise, like speaking. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna have to. I've been trying to AI denoise, and it's really, really hard. Though we had a breakthrough. We were able to clone voices successfully with an app, so that's great.
Microphones are like they're the same in both of the phones. This is a selfie camera. The selfie camera is unchanged. They did supposedly, I think, put new sensors for the regular cameras, so it's going to be slightly improved over like the 14 Pro and Pro Max experience, but.
It's recording off the selfies? Why?
Yeah, not a whole lot of change. Now, of course, this has the.
Of course, this is only in probably like 720p. Yeah, 720p quality, so we're not getting the whole experience.
The 3x zoom we had last year. The 15 Pro Max has the 5x zoom with that refractory, whatever, blah, 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 craziness stuff going on. I'll test that out later in this video. I took a couple of photos. I think they look good. I don't have a whole lot of problems with the iPhone camera until it comes to light exposure, HDR, and, you know, making your face look orange and things like that. I'm curious to see how that pans out. It seems like the lens flare stuff, from what I'm hearing, is still there. But overall, using it for the first day, I mean, it's all right. It's an iPhone. The magic quickly wears off because you set it up, you restore from your iCloud, or you transfer from your device, and then it's the same old Apple experience. One thing I did have problems with was transferring my data over. I had to set this phone up 4 times.
Wow.
Because it kept dying. Well, not dying. It would crash in the data transfer process. And then if that happens, then you have to restart the phone from scratch all over.
That's unfortunate.
Again. And then when I was trying to scan the QR code, little dots that pop up the circle, twice that failed. And I had to do the manual PIN type in. So that wasn't as seamless as I wanted it to be. Transferring the SIM card through eSIM over worked a lot better this year than last year. Last year got hung
Makes sense.
up. I had to go to the AT&T store. It didn't work for half the day. I didn't have.
I mean, I don't know how. Like, let's say we somehow came into possession of an iPhone 15. Legally, of course. How would we test it? It's not like I can put my SIM in it, so we wouldn't be able to test the data or anything. I can convert this to an eSIM, but then when I get just like a regular Android phone that may or may not support eSIM, how am I supposed to transfer it? Also, if I want to use this phone while using that one, I guess we could hotspot all the time, but that wouldn't like test the cellular performance, I guess battery life when on cellular. It's just Wi-Fi. It's basically like a tiny tablet.
Have any problems transferring the eSIM over this time, so that's nice. But yeah, it was kind of annoying because I was trying to get it set up, and it took me almost 4 hours trying to get this phone set up because it refused to transfer my data over. I ended up having to completely re-back up everything on my iCloud and then restore it from an iCloud. And one thing, don't start transferring everything over yet because there's some sort of bug. You have to update it to iOS 17 before to let you transfer your stuff over. So I started setting it up. It's like, oh, there's an update to iOS 17. You set up iOS 17, and then it makes you start the installation and the setup process.
That's real bad. It doesn't seem Apple-esque. Don't they sell their phones pre-updated? What?
process all over again. So this has been the most
iOS 17 is out already, right? It's not a beta, isn't it?
pain in the butt setup process I've ever experienced with an iPhone. You may experience some of that heartache.
With the price of just about everything inflating these days, you may wonder why Mint is deflating the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just...
Anyway, just letting you know, if you're starting up from new, it's not that big of a deal. But if you're trying to transfer stuff over, yeah, make sure you do the update to iOS 17 first. Yeah. So USB-C, the action button's kind of neat. So I program mine. If you press and hold it, you can do things. I set mine to the flashlight. I like
That's great, I guess.
that. I use my flashlight more than I use my mute switch, which they change it to a software feature. So when you swipe down here, there's a little icon, the little bell. That's basically what
That's been there, I think.
replaced the mute switch. That's fine. You can still use it for a mute switch if you want. But what it's nice is you can change it for different things. It's customizable. I like that. So I appreciate that now if I use the iPhone, I can just press the button, turn my flashlight on. Very cool. So yeah, I don't have a whole lot of craziness going on here. I am worried about the battery. I am glad I was able to pick up the 15 Pro Max. I'll do some distinction stuff later on, and we'll go from there and see how things go. iOS 17 seems okay so far. We'll see how AirDrop works out with this one. I was having iOS 17 issues with AirDrop on my 14 Pro Max. It still was crashing on me trying to use AirDrop, which is a very frustrating thing. But we'll see how it goes with this one. I haven't AirDropped anything yet. But overall, the experience has been fine. If you wanted this phone, you're probably going to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple.
Okay. I guess I won't enjoy it.
It's an iPhone is an iPhone is an iPhone. Really, it's like the same story with just a new chapter with a new cover image put on it every year. They don't really fundamentally change a whole lot. And they're not going to, because they want the operating system to remain very similar. They want the experience to remain similar. They want everything to be as stable and seamless as possible. And they definitely have the best, most seamless experience, I think, in the phone industry. But yeah, it's not my cup of tea, but of course, I will do my best to try and bring y'all coverage in as objective and unbiased way as possible based off my experience.
I wonder if he'll keep it. Do you think he'll return it or keep it? Put it in the chat. Do you think he'll keep or return? All right. Let me put my link back up. There we go.
So far, it's been fine. And it's funny because my kids automatically knew that I was using an iPhone. I had texted my son. He was asking, did you get the new iPhone 15? I was like, no, I didn't. Just messing with him because I was going to surprise him when he got home from school. And he saw, I was like, no, I know you got it because it's showing up a blue bubble on my phone now. Like, how do you know this? You're 13 years old. So
that's why he knows it. Besides, there have been plenty of 13-year-olds who started tech media companies. I mean, I can list them on one finger. Well, there's me, and oh yeah, didn't MKBHD start when he was 13? Yeah. So that's two fingers. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, kids and Apple. So that's all
I mean, he could have said, nope, I'm using Sunbird. But then I don't know. I don't know if he would know that.
I've gotten this video. I'm going to monitor this battery situation and come back to y'all here probably in a couple of days just to let you know what my experience is, because that's going to be one of the big determining factors in what I do with this phone. And also, one other thing I didn't realize that's kind of problematic. So when I record with my iPhone, I can't use my microphone with this anymore because this has a built-in lightning port.
Don't they have like adapters for that?
Cable. This is a Shure microphone. I paid like $200 for it.
$200. Dang.
That I've been using for years won't work with this because it's USB-C, and hopefully I don't have to rebuy another mic. But with the USB-C, you can connect it to an external mic. I figured out yesterday, and I actually plugged it into a different mic that I use for like streaming and stuff. Turned out it sounds actually pretty nice. So there might be a silver lining here that I might change some of my setup, but for now,
that's great, I guess.
I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Hopefully I'll have a great weekend. If you have any questions or comments, of course, please go to the comment section. I'll do my best to get back with you. If you found this helpful, if you like this stuff, please hit the like and the subscribe button.
All right. Yeah, Google Bard got some updates. You can add extensions to it here. Hopefully you can see. You can add like Google Flights, Hotels, Maps, Workspace, and Drive. All right, so this is how you conjure up an extension. Flights. There we go. Okay. Where is LAX? And since we actually got some people here, you know, and one of our most popular videos was guessing Gen Z terms, in which I lost to a 30-year-old man. Okay, what does Google Flights do? Okay, I guess we can do. Wait, no, not at LAX. At flights. What? What is this? Okay. At Google Flights. Hello. Wait, what is this supposed to do? Hotels. YouTube can. Oh, okay. Can help me find cheap flights. All right, let's try YouTube. Okay. Help me find a tech about Samsung. What is that called? Tyson phone. All right, here we go. Let's see if you can find me something. All right, searching YouTube for this, and you have to have barred activity on. Convert Tyson to Android. Yeah, that's probably a scam. And you got some reviews here. How to block a mobile number on Tyson. Yeah, and then it links to YouTube videos here. So that's great. Thank you. And that's how you use extensions. All right. I will be nice to you. I will be merciful. And since one of our most famous popular videos of all time was a ChatGPT video and a Gen G video, I'm going to tell ChatGPT to generate pickup for bumping phones together. Okay, this is going to be the dumbest thing we've ever done on this channel. We're using GPT 3.5 because GPT 3. Here we go. Here you go. ChatGPT, help us today. All right. Samsung's contact info. Here you go. Info. Oh, I should probably turn off the custom instructions. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna turn off my custom instructions. Oh, they're not on. I don't know. I deleted this. Oh, there they go. Okay. That's the custom instructions I use to edit my articles. Someone's contact info by bumping phones. Oh my goodness. All right, back to the stream. Let's see if. Oh my goodness, it's coming up with lines. No, no, please. I wish you would have said like as an AI language model. Anyway, using technology as a play for icebreaker. Accident. Oh no no no. Oops! It looks like our phones wanted to meet. Can I take this time to get your number? That could work. I guess our phones just. Okay, I'm gonna tell you about the technology. In 2023, I will post these as a community post. Oh man, okay. I launched a technology where you can bump phones to info. Oops, I misspelled transfer. Yeah, great. Okay. Which is, oh my goodness. I should, The action button. What? I mean, I'm talking about name drop when you bump the two phones together and they transfer contact information. Right, back to the thing. Here, let's incorporate the fixable technology called name drop. Is your phone equipped with name drop? Because I'd like to. Oh no. Oh no. No, no, no. I have this amazing. Okay, well, that's wrong. They say name the incredible tech called. Oh, what? No. Who makes these things? I can't resist using name drop if someone's intriguing it. Oh, okay. Yeah, these will be posted to a community note. Well, not a community note. This probably would get community noted, but yeah, that will be posted as a community post. If you want to see more absolutely brain numbing stuff like that, there's a buy me a coffee link down there. If you don't have any more questions, that's all for now. Thank goodness. Wait, I guess we can try it on Google Bard. Okay, scroll up and we initiate the same chats, copying and pasting them into Bard. What I do for you guys. All right, it's going into Bard. There you go. Seems like Bard's being stuck. Oh, these are worse. Hey, I think you just bumped into my future. Can I get... what? I think our phones are trying to tell us... I'm pretty sure that was the same thing. Our phones must be trying to tell us something. And then this was... Wait, look. Here. Line number 3. Our phones must be trying to tell us something. All right? Line number 1, 2, 3, 4. I think our phones are trying to tell us something. I think AI is trying to tell us something. It's coming from the same source. The pit of insanity. Okay, great. Now I'm going to put in... ChatGPT did a better job. Okay, I'm going to launch this. Well, technically, isn't Bard connected to the internet? It's to know these things. Okay, there you go. I'm probably going to give me a whole spiel about name drop. And I'm going to copy and paste this in. Yes, see, it's telling me that it did because they did. All right. And it's loading. Hey, I think my... Oh, no. No. What? Bye. What? Who writes these things? Please, no. What? What? Okay, next one. You want to name drop? Okay, that's just... I'm not too much about this conversation. But I'm so glad Apple invented name drop because... Okay, that was actually... Oh my goodness. Okay, those will be community posted shortly after the stream. God bless, pray for the nation, and oh my goodness, AI.